Hello everyone, and welcome to Left of Meta! The idea behind this series is to highlight some decent to good sets that can be good for either newer players who want a good starting point to work from, or for older players who just want to mess around and look at some of the sets that aren't Reliquin, Sororia, Yolnahkrin, and Olorime for their DPS tanks and healers. And before we get into the actual sets, a couple of very quick ground rules. First off, these sets will always be Overland, PvP, crafted sets, or base game dungeons. And they will be tested alongside other sets, which will be listed in the video and linked in the description below. For the most part, those sets will be Leviathan from Crypt of Parts and the Maelstrom Bow for stamina characters, Mother's Sorrow from Deshawn and the Maelstrom Staff for Magicka characters, Spell Power Cure and the Master's Resto Staff from White Gold Tower for healers, and Evan Armory for tanks. This video also includes the Selene Monster set, found in Selene's Web. And with that out of the way, let's roll into today's set. This week's set is called Briarheart. It is found in Hrothgar Overland, and this set is somewhat expensive on guild stores, especially for weapons, though you can still pick up a lot of it for relatively cheap. And the dagger from this set can be gotten from the quest Where Loyalty Lies in the Frozen Fleet in Hrothgar. This set gives the following benefits. At 2 items, adds 657 weapon critical. At 3 items, adds 1096 maximum stamina. At 4 items, adds 657 weapon critical. And at 5 items, when you deal critical damage, you increase your weapon damage by 450 for 10 seconds. While this effect is active, your critical strikes heal you for 100 health. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds, and the heal scales off the higher of your max magicka or maximum stamina. So this set has some really good benefits for the 2, 3, 4. 2 crit lines are always good, and a line of maximum stamina is useful. The 5 is also a lot of damage. 450 is nothing to scoff at. For comparison, Hunding's Rage, the go-to starter set, is 300, and Diamond's Victory, the new crafted set we talked about, gives 437. On the downside to this, it requires you to get a crit in order to gain that 450 weapon damage, which, when compared to something like Hunding's Rage, which has it always active, and Diamond's Victory, which while requiring more finagling and is more finicky, is near equivalent amount and can reach 100% uptime pretty consistently, this requires you to get a crit before you get all of that bonus damage, and even then, you can't keep it up 100% of the time. You're going to struggle with it because you can get that 10 seconds of damage every 15 seconds. And that equates to, in the recordings of all of the runs and all of the parses that I did, roughly a 50% uptime, which, while not terrible, could be argued to perform worse than the flat 300 you're getting from Hunding's Rage. All in all, this is a pretty decent damage set. It's very high weapon damage totals. 450 is definitely nothing to scoff at, and it is going to take you far. On the other hand, it has a lower uptime. It's not going to be as consistent as sets like Diamond's Victory or Hunding's Rage. And all in all, probably worth giving it a pass. But it is comparable to something like Briarheart or Diamond's Victory as a starter set that you can go out and farm and get that wonderful feeling of accomplishment for finally getting all of the pieces to it. That being said, that's about all we're going to have this week. Join us next week for the dungeon set Medusa. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all next time. Until then, good luck, stay safe, and don't die.